I'm Ashlee Parchus, and for my adolescent theme presentation, I have the 1982 version of Annie. Here's my table of contents. And first we'll start out with the film summary. The setting takes place in 1933 during the Great Depression in New York City. The main character is Annie, a 10-year-old orphan who is just beginning her emergence into adolescence. The adult in charge at the orphanage is her mean foster parent, Miss Hannigan. Everything changes, however, when Grace takes Annie to experience a week of luxury under the care of Oliver Warbucks and his welcoming staff. Warbucks learns to love her and uses his immense resources to spread a man's announcement demanding Annie's parents to come forward and win a large cash reward. Despite these good intentions, the opportunity falls into the wrong person's hand, and Miss Hannigan teams up with Lee and Rooster to pretend to be her parents. They kidnap Annie to receive the cash reward. In the end, Oliver Warbucks can save Annie and officially adopts her to provide a safe and welcoming home. Next, we have the relevance to adolescence. The film shows how different parenting styles can affect the outcome of an adolescent. Her biological parents represent the indifferent style, Miss Hannigan represents the authoritarian, and Oliver Warbucks represents the authoritative style. Examining the different styles will allow an understanding of how they affect the adolescent's behavior and overall mood. The styles are determined by responsiveness, which is responding to the child's needs, and demandingness, which is the expectations for mature behavior. First, we have the indifferent parenting style, which is shown by her biological parents. They are low in responsiveness and low in demandingness since they are not shown in the film at all and cannot expect or demand anything from her. This affects Annie's behavior since she's always longing for them to come rescue her, and at moments it makes her quite sad, despite her staying optimistic throughout the whole movie. She often questions why they aren't there anymore, and when she learns that they are not coming to rescue her, she gets very disappointed before she can turn to Oliver Warbucks. Next, we have the authoritarian parenting style, shown by Miss Hannigan. She is low in responsiveness and she is harsh, often shown mocking the children. And she has improper responses to Annie's behavior. When Annie sneaks a dog in, she says she will send him to the sausage factory. And when Annie escapes in front of the cops, she is warm and excited to have Annie back. However, in reality, afterwards, she traps her in the closet. Miss Hannigan is high in demandingness, and she makes the orphans do excessive chores and tells them if you skip the cleaning, there will be no lunch. She makes the children say, "We love you, Miss Hannigan, no matter the situation," which causes them to suppress their actual emotions since they do not actually feel this way. This affects Annie's behavior since she has to step up as the parental figure for the orphans. She has to provide them warmth. She helps a younger girl fall back asleep in the middle of the night and assures many of the other orphans that they will one day be adopted. She also does not respect Miss Hannigan. She stomps on her foot and makes fun of her behind her back and to her face. Annie exhibits rebellious behavior since she sneaks out and breaks the rules. Mr. Warbucks shows an authoritative parenting style. He is high in responsiveness and high in demandingness. He answers questions that Annie has about his job and allows her to be involved. He accepts Annie and takes her in since the orphanage is an unsuitable place for her to live. Warbucks honors Annie's wishes to be back with her mom and dad one day, despite him wanting to adopt her. And he even cheers her up when Annie is down because her parents don't show up. And he assures her that she is special and to never stop believing. His demandingness comes in play when he sets house rules, ensuring that she turns the lights off when leaving the house. He also asks her to have a man-to-man conversation where he expects her to be mature. This affects Annie's behavior because she sings the song, "I Think I'm Gonna Like It Here." She feels more accepted by many of the adult mentors who she is able to relate to and become close with. The environment allows Annie to have more adult and mature conversations about her feelings and desires. Next are the adolescent portrayals. Annie is portrayed as kind. This is shown, for example, when she rescues her dog Sandy from getting beaten up by other kids and taken to the pound. She shows deductive reasoning and thinking in multiple dimensions. Annie can acknowledge that Mr. Warbucks might just be adopting an orphanage to improve his own image in the media. And she is able to turn down Mr. Warbucks' offer to be adopted since she knows that it is her dream to be back with her parents. She also has the ability to see things as relative rather than absolute. She sings about the song Sun Coming Out Tomorrow. She knows her life will not always be this way and is highly optimistic about her and the other orphans' future. The movie is a realistic depiction of adolescence during that time and today. During the time in the 1930s, it was the Great Depression. The experience of poverty is realistic to what people were experiencing during the time, and Annie shows resilience by being cheerful and optimistic, which is what a lot of people needed to get through the Depression. In today's context, there are still many adolescents in orphanage, foster care, or experiencing poverty. The adolescents were portrayed positively. While some children in the orphanage are pessimistic about being adopted, they learned by the end of the movie to have hope and grit just like Annie. The portrayals are fitting for all adolescents universally. Although Annie fits into the subgroup of being an orphan, all the adolescents desire or struggle to find where they belong. Annie also presents high levels of grit that allow her to become motivated to find her family and get out of the orphanage. She never gives up, and her grit can inspire anyone needing to overcome an obstacle or just be positive. Thank you. That's the end of my presentation.